Hey yogis, welcome to a new practice. Today I'm very honored to guide you through a yin style yoga practice. So that means that we will do a lot less poses and we also hold those poses for a lot longer. It's gonna be a more gentle sequence. That's the style of yin, or very typical for yin. There's no chaturangas, no planks, there's no strength in it. It's very relaxing, restorative and gentle practice, which doesn't necessarily make it less challenging. Sometimes slowing down is harder for most of us than, doing something strong. But since we are in each pose for 1 to 3 minutes, it could get very challenging for the mind, and that's exactly why we do it. So if you find yourself being challenged with this kind of practice, it might be a good sign that you need to do more of it. All you need for today is really your mat, your carpet, or just something on the ground. You can also use a towel or so, or however you make this work. You don't need much for this. If you want to put a pillow nearby just for support or some block, it's always good to have. But that's really it for today. So welcome to a restorative practice. This is also a great one for increasing flexibility, since we're holding those stretching poses for so long, and also very good for really diving deep internally, focusing on the breath and slowing everything down, calming the mind down a little bit, especially these days where things are pretty interesting in the world. We all need that. Let's begin in a seated position, so you can just join me here in hero's pose. You can also sit cross-legged. You can also sit on a pillow or two. Sit nice and tall, close your eyes. Place your hands wherever it's comfortable. Perhaps in your lap or on your thighs or on your knees. Take a moment to feel your own body. Feel all the limbs, your fingers, your fingernails. Kind of exploring the edges of our body. Where does our body end? Physically, also energetically, and where does your surrounding, that space around you, begin? You might want to bring some more awareness to your skin, just kind of that layer in between your body and your internal world and the external. Feel the feet, the toes. Relax your shoulders down. Sit tall. Feel your belly, your chest, also your upper back. And notice how all these parts are moving as the breath is flowing in and out through the nose. Notice the sensation of the breath, the air passing by the tip of your nose, entering the nostrils, entering the body. Your body is processing that fresh air to keep everything going, to keep everything alive. Notice the exhale, how the air is leaving the body again. And then it all repeats. It's all starting over again. Many, many times throughout the day. Never really taking a break. Your body, that perfect system, is always going. always working. Such a beautiful thing. Let's take a moment to be grateful for that it's working, it's functioning, you're healthy, you're here. You got internet, you got a home where you can do this practice. Set an intention for your practice today. And slowly blink your eyes open. Nice and slow, find your way into a tabletop. Come onto all fours. The shoulders are above the wrists, the hips are above the knees. Let's move the spine a little bit. Untuck your toes. On your inhale, arch your back, look forward. Exhale, round your back, push the ground away. Inhale, arch your back, look forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. 2 more. Exhale, round. Last one. Round the back. Very good. Come onto the toes. Lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. We're just moving through. Walk your dog if you need to. Very good. Connect to that stillness within. Let the body slow down as well. Lift your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, open, stack the hips. And let's come into pigeon pose. Bring the right knee behind the right wrist. Cross the shin over the mat. Release the left knee down. Scoot the hips back. And for this one, you want to set it up right, so take your time. I like to bend the right leg a lot, so that it's a lot more gentle for the right knee. This is definitely the more, I would say, entry version of this pose, and that's the one I'm going to do as well with you, because my knees are pretty sensitive. But you might not feel much here, and you want to go into a deeper version, which is the right leg more forward. So the more you bring that right shin forward, the deeper you will go into this one. And also at the same time, you want to be more careful with the knee. So I will not do this one. Doesn't work for my body. Maybe it works for yours. And so you just take that option. I will stay here with the knee nice and bent. Untuck the left toes. And stay on the palms. Or fold forward down for sleeping pigeon. Since we're here for probably 3 minutes or so, you don't want to go to your full extend right away. You kind of want to ease your way into this pose, into this shape. So you start somewhere where you feel it, and then you go from there over time. Give it time. It's important to keep the breath going, so we'll hang out here for 2 more minutes or something. And there's really different lengths of time you can stay in this pose. In this class today we'll do about 3 minutes for basically every pose, and we will do a lot less poses, of course, but some instructors do even less poses and stay even longer, so it's not uncommon to stay for 5 minutes in a pose. Some people even do 10 minutes, not just in restorative yoga but also yin. One of the teachers I trained under and studied yin, she's doing a 20-minute seated straddle forward fold and doing all kinds of activities while she's in the pose, or just relaxing for 20 minutes, read a book while you're in that pose. So relax into this, feel the breath. Maybe relax your forehead down to your hands, to your forearms. Just got 1 more minute or so here. Breathe into the outside part of your right hip. Constantly checking in with the knee so that the knee feels fine, feels safe. You really want to avoid any sensation in the knee, not just the painful ones, of course those you not even want to experience, but any kind of sensation you want to avoid in the knee. Keep that right foot flexed a bit more, but mostly you want to relax into this pose. So it's a bit different than when we come into these shapes in a vinyasa style practice where we're holding it for 5 breaths. Here you want to really relax and make the breath and the relaxation part of this the main focus. Place your hands on the ground, slowly push yourself back up. Sit over onto the right hip. Bring that left leg, that back leg forward and around, all the way outside the right thigh. Lean to your right side, extend the right leg forward this time. Readjust on your mat. And now we're coming into a half cow face, so you want to stack that left knee over the right knee. So maybe for you that's something like this. Maybe you can go deeper into it and stack the knee all the way over. Really doesn't matter. Just do what works for your body right now. And then you keep that right foot a little bit flexed or more upright, but not as active as you would in a regular vinyasa style practice. Walk the hands forward and relax into it. So we're here for about 3 minutes. So find the sensation in the body, but not your end range and your max yet. Give the body time to open up. If you want to put a pillow between your knee and your head, go ahead so you can fully relax into this. Feel the breath coming in and out through the nose. Focus on that breath. Keep the breath going. We got 2 more minutes here. Close your eyes. I hope you have some good music going. Otherwise it's going to be a lot of silence in this class, which is also great. My job is really only to guide you into the pose, and then I keep reminding you to relax and breathe. All kinds of sensations can come up in a practice like this. You all of a sudden might feel very hot, or maybe cold, or feel some tension coming up. Know that this is most likely because of the practice you're doing right now. It can trigger many things, and it's even more important, if that happens, to stay focused on the breath. Keep the breath going in through the nose, out through the nose. Nice and slow, nice and deep. Slowly release. Plant the hands down. Take your time to come out of it. You might also feel extra tight and stiff as you come out of a pose. That's perfectly normal. Bring that sole of the left foot inside the right thigh, so that just like tree pose. Your left hand goes behind you, which is the back of the mat next to your left hip. You lift those hips up, stay on the left knee, just for a quick counter stretch. We're not here for 3 minutes. Just pushing the hips forward, engage the glutes, reach out with the right arm up and over your head. Release the hips back down. Lots of forward folding in this pose, so if you need to do another round of this counter stretch, go ahead. Extend both legs forward, coming into a seated forward fold. So for this one, I want you to bend your knees, and then grab the feet, scoot the hips back until you feel the sensation in the back side of your legs. And that's where you stay. So maybe you feel it now already, and you stay here. You can then put a pillow between your chest and your thighs if you want to, or just stay here, relax into it. So whatever you need to do to relax and use less strength or tension in the muscles, that's what you want to do. Maybe your legs are all the way straight, that's also fine. So wherever you are, all we're looking for is that sensation in the back side of your legs, perhaps also in your lower back or your upper back, and that's where you stay. So let's start here. And we're here for 3 minutes. You can round the back, tuck the chin to the chest. Just make sure it's pretty effortless what you're doing. Especially in this forward fold, feel the lungs expand and how they're moving the back, the upper back, how the upper back is basically breathing and expanding. There might be a moment where you feel like you really want to leave that pose now, and it's kind of getting uncomfortable. You build up some tension, some resistance. Especially if it's a very strong sensation that you might approach that edge or that border where you feel kind of uneasy in this pose or in any pose. So notice if that's you, if that's happening to you, then that's the time where you want to focus more on the breath. Take deeper, slower breaths and stay in the pose. You want to stay in it and know that this is when the real practice begins. So when you experience that, that's where it starts. Welcome to the practice. Welcome to yoga then. Stay with the breath. Especially if you're new to this, you might approach this kind of border or this edge very fast. Breathe through it, stay with the breath. You're all safe as long as there's nothing sharp and painful and you feel like you're about to get injured, then it's all good. If it's getting a little bit uncomfortable and the body is creating some tension, telling you, what are you doing? Come out of this pose now. Try to do a couple more breaths. We got 1 more minute. Slowly release, walk the hands back, take your time. It's okay if you feel really stiff. If you feel like you're 100 years old, it's all good. It's part of it. Use your hands to help bend your knees. We're coming into a butterfly pose. Bring the feet together, the soles of the feet together. And then you can fold forward and down. You can grab the feet if you want to, but also just relax with the hands or the forearms down. Maybe for you it's more like this. It's all good. Keep shifting the weight forward so that you also lengthen the lower body and not just the upper body. And we're here for 3 minutes. Very easy, or I should say gentle practice. It might not be easy at all, depending where you're at, what's going on in your life. All the stillness and the slow pace might trigger a lot of things, especially if you usually ignored by doing a strong class or keeping yourself busy or distracted. And this is the time when the mind gets very loud and busy, when you're slowing down, sitting down to meditate, coming down to do a practice like this. The voice in your head might go off a lot and is very loud. That's perfectly normal. We all go through this, some more, some less, some for a longer time, some for a less long time. It's all part of it. Stay with the breath. It's all good. It's all going to be good in the end. If it's not good yet, it's not the end. Stay with the breath. One breath at a time. Just 30 more seconds. Slowly release, take your time. Push yourself back up. Use your hands to bring your knees back together. Cross your ankles, roll over the knees. Find your way onto your belly. That was a lot of forward folding so far in this class. We're now coming into some back bends, or one back bend at least, which is Sphinx pose. So you can come onto the forearms, bring the feet wide apart. Have those shoulders over the elbows. Keep the glutes a little bit engaged, but relax everything else in your body. We're purposely not doing any upward dogs or cobra pose, so you just need too much strength for a practice like this. In this one, you can be pretty relaxed. Let gravity do all the work. That's really what we're doing in a yin yoga practice like this one. Let gravity do all the work. You relax, you breathe. It's all good. If you need a break and this is getting too deep, then of course come out of it. Just lay on your belly. Otherwise, stay with the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. We got 2 more minutes. That's a great practice to do if you, of course, want to increase flexibility, or if you want to do more of a moving meditation where you really slow down, breathe, and arrive. I also like to do this practice in the evening. It's very suitable for that, for example, before going to bed, or if you had a busy day, or also if you want to take a day, an easy day, like a rest day, and you did a lot of stuff the days before, so you just want to take it easy. No need to skip the practice completely. You can always do something super chill like this. You can for sure always meditate, so that's always an option. So it's nice that there are so many different types of yoga asana, the physical movement and poses that we do. So there's for sure something that fits your day and your schedule and your current situation. Let's release the chest down. Bring your forehead on your forearms. Just relax in crocodile pose for a bit. Just on the belly. Come onto your toes and just rock the hips side to side. Very good. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and then push the hips back. For child's pose, stay on the toes if you want to. And let's meet in downward facing dog. Just here for a little bit, moving through. Lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, open, stack the hips. Move the left knee behind the left wrist for pigeon pose. Now we're coming into the other side. Lower the hips down, move that right leg back. Keep your front leg back a lot to keep the knees safe. Just find what works for you. And then relax down if you want, or stay upright. We're here for about 3 minutes. Set everything up so that you can relax and ease into it. If it's too much for you to keep the left hip lifted, you can also put something underneath that left hip. For example, a couple of books or a pillow. It's nice, you can always pause the video and get those things if you forgot them. It's not a live class or a public class. So you see I'm getting really comfortable here. And I want you to do the same. Get comfortable so you can relax into it. Keep checking in with the knee from time to time so that there's really no sensation. And I already know what I'm talking about with all these hip openers and knee, because my knees are very sensitive. You know, I do jiu-jitsu a lot too, and there's many, let's call them like leg locks or leg attacks. And can be sometimes a bit dangerous. So over the years I started to feel my knees a little bit more. I'm not injured or anything, it's all good. In fact, I feel better than ever before, but because of jiu-jitsu, I need to be a little bit more careful with the knees especially. So you will hear it from me a lot to keep checking in with the knees, be careful with them. Again, you don't want to feel any sensation in the knees. Let's do 30 more seconds. Maybe you have a background of knee injuries too, you know, from different sports or injuries or whatever you had going on. In your decades of life, you have been going through, things happen. And so we all got our own history of things in the body, so it's important to honor those and listen to those and to not ignore them. Slowly release, push yourself up, sit over onto the left hip, bring that right leg forward and around, outside the left thigh. We readjust on the mat. Lean to your left, extend your left leg forward. We're setting up again for half cow face. Nice and easy today, no rush. The right knee wants to come on top of the left knee. And it doesn't matter how it looks, if you have not noticed, especially in this class. It's really all about relaxing, feeling good. So if the knee is like this, or even this, if you're new to yoga, this is how I started. This is all that was accessible at some point. And maybe that's the same for you today because you're new or because you have any injuries. It's all good. We're all doing what we can. When you're ready, fold forward. We're here for 3 minutes, nice and easy. This one we're targeting more the back side of your left leg. I hope you're feeling it already, your hamstring. I'll stop talking for this one so you can enjoy. Enjoy the silence or your music that you got going on. Close your eyes, relax. I'll tell you when it's time to come out. Keep focusing on the breath. Nice breaths in and out through the nose. Place your hands down, take your time to release. Push yourself back up. Beautiful job. Let's bring that sole of the right foot inside the left thigh for this short counter stretch. Your right hand goes behind you, lift your hips up, stay on the right knee. Push those hips forward, engage the glutes, reach your left arm up and over your head. And release the hips back down. Very good. Now extend both legs forward. We are now coming into a seated straddle forward fold. I will rotate to the left, but you can stay wherever you are right now. You keep the legs straight, bring the legs wide apart. And then you walk the hands forward. We're here for, again, 3 minutes. So take your time, take it nice and easy. Stay with the breath. It's very important to not take me, what I'm doing here, or how I get into it, or how deep I can go into it as an example of this is what you should be doing, or what you will be able to do one day. If you're staying up here and you're just leaning slightly forward and that's it, but you feel it in the body, again, that's all you're looking for, and that's great. If you do this more and more over time, the body might open up. It will open up more to some degree and to what's accessible and possible in your body. But if you see those people in this position with the chest on the ground, it's not that if you do this more, then you will get to that as well. You might, but a lot of you also will not, because there's differences in bone structure, how your body is designed and shaped, and how your hip socket is designed, and all the things with your bones. So there's limitations. So you could stretch like all day, every day for many years, but still might not be able to put your chest on the ground in this one, because your bone structure just does not allow it. So it's not that with training you can reach all the flexibility and you can reach a certain level. There's limitations, and you might never bring your chest to the ground. And that also needs to be okay. And it's important that you know that, so that you're not forcing it, because otherwise it might just result in injury, pretty bad injury. And that's the last thing we want, because most of us step on the mat to heal, to feel better, to feel great, to be healthy. And so by forcing it too much, you might achieve exactly the opposite. This is with flexibility. It's very different with strength. Strength, I would say everyone can gain and get stronger at. I don't know if there's any limit in strength, but strength is something you can train a lot further than flexibility. Let's do one more minute. Get ready to come out of the pose. Bring your hands down to the ground. Slowly push yourself back up. It's really important to move slowly out of all these poses that you hold for such a long time. Now use your hands. Bring them underneath your knees to help bend your legs again. Maybe one leg at a time. Very good. Now I will readjust on my mat. Let's all come onto the back. Let's cross the right ankle over the left. Keep those legs as they are. If you know what you're doing and you want to go deeper, you can also slide that right leg over the left thigh, kind of like this. And then bring the legs over to the left side all the way down to the ground. So wherever you are, you scoot the hips to the right and move the legs over, down to the left. It's okay if the right shoulder lifts up, relax the legs down, extend your right arm away from you. Let's stay here for just a minute or so in this twist. Close your eyes, relax. We only have the other side for that twist, and then shavasana. Notice the breath. Now with the help of your left hand, bring your legs back to center. And let's transition for the other side, nice and slow. Scoot the hips over to the left and bring the legs over to the right side all the way down. We're here for a good minute. Your eyes are closed, relax, ease into it, breathe. Breathe into that twisting sensation in the spine. Use your right hand, help your legs back to center, nice and slow. Hug both knees into the chest, give yourself a nice hug. And extend the legs forward for shavasana. The palms are facing upwards. Close your eyes, relax your body. We're staying here at least for 3 minutes. Of course, you can stay longer if you want. This is the final pose of our practice. As in all the other poses before, relax into it. Make this effortless. Observe the breath, feel the air coming in and out through the nose. Start to observe that pause, that gap between the inhale and the exhale. Focus on it, feel it. Focus on that stillness, that nothingness, that gap. If there's anything that resonates with this gap inside your body. It's in the chest area, your heart. Thing just feels familiar. The stillness. As if you know it already. Been there before. Perhaps that stillness, that gap is the gateway to your true self, to who you really are, to where you came from. You came into this body, where you're going again when you leave this body. If it feels comfortable, keep focusing on that. Keep exploring that sensation, that gap, that stillness. Otherwise, if it doesn't feel comfortable, come back to the sensation of the air coming in and out through the nose. You choose, you decide. I'll leave you with that for today. The video will just end. Thank you so much for taking the time to slow down, for taking the time to breathe, arrive, to be. I hope I will see you in the next video. Stay well, stay healthy. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Namaste.